Hey, in this episode, I'm going to share my experience of posting 4 times a day for 15 days straight and why I will keep raving about websites and SEO instead forever and ever. So, everyone has an opinion about the algorithm, right? Like what time you should post, how often to post, which format gets the most reach, or which hook stops the scroll. But like I always say, the algorithm is like a unicorn. Everyone talks about it, but nobody has actually seen one, right? And I think that's the core problem with building your business on social media. You're constantly optimizing for something that nobody fully understands and that actually works differently for everyone. And it can also change without warning. Like I always say, it changes as often as the weather in north of France, so that tells you a lot. And that's why I keep coming back to websites and SEO. So, now a little disclaimer, I will never deny that social media is a great tool. It's useful. I will never tell you to delete your Instagram like I did last year. I don't regret it at all. But, to each their own. And there is beauty in social media. You can create wonderful friendships, business relationships, collaborations, of course, meet clients. So, nothing wrong with that. It's just about using it in a way that is sustainable and that fits your personality as well. And I will still keep raving about SEO because it actually follows rules. And those rules don't change, at least they don't change very often. And you can learn those rules once and use them forever. And even if nowadays there is AI and voice search, these tools are in the picture and they are here to stay. The foundations are the same. Strong SEO is the basis for everything. But let me get back to the social media topic. And I want to share about my 15-day social media challenge that I took part in. So I wanted to give it a fair try, right? Like an experiment. I was open to be proven wrong, but I was also curious if I would be proven right. And it's not to be right or wrong for the sake of ego, right? It's from a place of what genuinely works or not for me. And I know I'm not the only one. So I went all in. I posted every day, 4 times per day for 15 days indeed. I didn't make any excuse. I didn't let my mind get in the way because, like I said, I wanted to experiment. I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could actually learn to enjoy the social media game a little bit more. Well, spoiler alert, I didn't. So I want to share what happened inside, like after this challenge, in a very simple way. So, first of all, my individual post reach dropped to its lowest point since I made LinkedIn my main platform in August 2025. Lower engagement as well. Well, I guess no one could keep up with my posts because I barely could myself. And my friend Erica from Devi Marketing, the best social media manager in my opinion, had already told me that LinkedIn doesn't reward that kind of frequency. And I had also read the same advice from Alicia Teltz. I'm sorry if I mispronounce her name. And they were both right. So Alicia is a former LinkedIn employee and she posts about LinkedIn and updates and all of that. And I was recycling the same posts on Facebook, so copy paste, nothing big, and I got the same results. The more I was posting, the lower the reach per post. But some people in the challenge, including the strategists who run it, got the opposite results. So go figure, right? Like if I were paranoid, I would think the social media algorithm gremlins hate me, but I know better, right? So if anyone has an explanation, I'm genuinely curious because I really don't understand. So this challenge didn't move the needle for my business. At this stage, the main conclusion of the challenge is that it took a lot of time and almost got me to a point of burnout. It legit took me a few days to recover in terms of brain power, since, like I say, I had to constantly milk my brain to produce content. It created extra stress, and I fell behind on other tasks that I had deadlines to meet, right? And I'm a very deadline driven person, so that friction hit me harder than it might for other people who are not like me, right? So the funny thing is, I also realized that using AI to draft my posts was actually slowing me down significantly. I cannot stand AI slop, right? So I would always rewrite my own post in my own way with my quirky voice. But it turns out I'm faster working with my own brain than with AI. And if anyone listening also cringes at the typical AI structure, please comment and let me know I'm not alone. So now here is what I will say in the favor of doing it anyway. So first of all, it broke some of my mental blocks that I had around posting too much. So in that sense, that was worth it, right? No regret. I still see it as planting seeds, so nothing was wasted. It just hasn't grown yet. The other positive aspect is that I created so many posts that I have a bigger database, and since the reach was low, I can repurpose them and nobody will notice, like literally. And I'm not sorry I did it, right? I'm clearer now on what actually works for me and what doesn't, as well as on boundaries, like what I can tolerate or not as a human being, right? So yeah, you've probably heard me say this before. The influencer business model is not for everyone, and it's definitely not for me. So I knew that already, since I cannot shut up about it, and it's one of the topics that keep coming up when I'm invited as a guest on podcasts. And yeah, I'm not meant to be an influencer. I'm not meant to use social media as an influencer. And I know I'm not alone because of the many, many conversations I've had on podcasts and also with my clients. So, the thing about social media strategies is that what works for someone will not necessarily work for someone else. And I just illustrated that point when I was sharing some of the other people's results in the challenge compared to my results. And it's like there is no user's guide on how to use such or such platform's algorithm. It responds differently depending on who you are, what you post, and how your specific audience behaves as well. And that's exactly why I built and I'm always building my business on SEO instead. Because SEO doesn't care if you're an extrovert or an introvert. It doesn't punish you for not posting every day, or, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't change as often as the weather in north of France. You write something once, you optimize it properly, and it keeps bringing people to your website for months or years without you needing to perform or to feel like you have to perform, right? Because for many people, that's how it feels. One of my clients' blog reached plus 255% impressions in 17 days. And impressions are the number of times a page is actually showing up on search results, like on Google, right? Another client of mine saw plus 77% more visitor, 150% more calls, and 17% more contact form filled in 2 months. Yeah, 2 months, sorry. And this was without writing any blog post for that specific case. And this is the version of marketing that I want for my clients and myself. The kind that works while you sleep, while you take time off, you walk your dog in the park, or you go through a chaotic 15 posting 4 times per day challenge on social media just to see what happens. I don't recommend it, but that's just me. So, if your website is sitting there collecting digital dust on Google's fourth page instead of bringing in clients, that's the problem I help you fix. And if you're a service based business owner and you resonate with what I've been saying, I would love to hear your experience as well on social media, like I was saying earlier. And if you want to fix your website so that it gets found on Google, gets cited by AI, and if you want to write copy that actually turns visitors into clients, Sold Out SEO is my 6-month program that helps you do that. So I would love, like I said, to hear your experience, where you're posting, on which platform, where you're having the best results, and if your website is currently doing something for you right now or not. If you want to audit your website, you can download my free checklist. I will put the link in the description, and you can self-audit your website and see exactly what to fix so it can start bringing you clients. And then if you need more help, you can join Sold Out SEO. I hope that was helpful. I'm curious to hear about your experience. And until then, I will see you in the next episode. Bye.